Yeah, thank you. Okay, I will tell you something about the weave OS, how to work with it, how to proceed your data if you're interested in working with the weave OS. Yeah. The weave OS, or the Weave's operating system, we call it weave OS, is an operating system for the economy of things. We have in the morning something heard from Sebastian about the wood to a chair example. And we have here the process, the harvest the data, process the data, transport an asset, and finally the chair, the commercial data. When we do it, when we want to do it with IoT devices, we need trust on every step. So because every single step is hardware or software, no human is behind the steps. So we have first our sensor data, which is hardware, and the data will be collected with software so IoT software or something. When we want to transport these data to a marketplace or something in the cloud, we need a protocol. So how can we communicate with the marketplace? Before we push it, we have here the asset data. So we have our smart contract. I will tell you about this later. And the final step is basically sell the data in the cloud or blockchain or something. We will hear more about it tomorrow at around 11 o'clock by Marvin and Sid, I think. If you're interested in these topics, so come tomorrow and listen to it. It's very interesting. What does weave OS now? So with weave OS, we provide you all these steps. So all you have to do is connect your hardware, your sensor, harvest your data. Okay, hello. Okay, we proceed. You have your data here, and then you proceed it to the operating system. So here comes the Weave's operating system in hand, and we have our software here to collect the data. All you have to do is send the data in the weave OS, and we will proceed the data and will transport it to a platform. Okay, now it's working. Yeah. Okay. Where was we? Transport data. Yes. We will proceed the data, and then with the help of the MQTT protocol, I will tell you about this. We transport the data to the cloud, blockchain, or something. Okay. So what hardware or what software are we having here on all these single compartments? Basically we have in the hardware to harvest data, we have a chip running an ARM, because we make use of the ARM Trustzone technology. This is, here we will get our trust anchor, so we can trust the data. On the second step, we have here our trust execution environment operating system, so called our weave OS. And this is a protocol I mentioned, the MQTT. It's basically an observer pattern where we have two clients running a mode, for example, the subscriber mode or the publisher mode. And the subscriber subscribes himself to a broker, like a server and client mode. And the subscriber subscribes to the broker. And now every message for the subscriber will be forwarded from the broker to this subscriber. So the subscriber say, I want to listen to the topic of electricity. So now another client comes and is a publisher and wants to publish messages to this topic. So he pushes data, the publisher pushes its data to the broker, and the broker will proceed this to the subscriber. So basically this is MQTT, and the S is for secure. So we provide the security behind this in our operating system. So your messages, your topics, all the information you can get from these messages are encrypted. So no one can read this beside the subscriber and the publisher. Yeah, and to asset data, we have the testified smart contract, which will check the execution of getting, or for harvest your data, proceed the data, and then finally transport the data. And the testified smart contract measure these steps and say, builds a hash over it and say, okay, these steps were trustworthy. Later, the commercial data, or the called a gateway or something, the marketplace, can verify this hash and say, okay, this was a hash and so far a valid data. So if you tamper here something, the testified smart contract will say, this was not a valid step, so all the chain will fall apart here. So no trustful data. Okay, so how can you work with the weave OS finally? So here on the EC80, we have two environments for you. So you can use your own Linux machine, and if you have a Mac or Windows or something, we advise you to use a virtualized machine. We have here a virtual machine on the router for you if you need something, or you use your Linux environment. The best steps is, first of all, come to us, share your epics with us, and we will give you feedback if this is a good idea, and you can proceed your data like this. And then, first of all, get the harvest data running. If you got this running, we can help you easily developing this on a board or something, and proceed this data to our environment. So this is good advice from us, how we can assist you the best. Yeah, before that, what is this trust zone I called about? I told about you. This is a graphic of a normal world operating system and a secure operating system. So this is basically the trust zone. The secure operating system provides you with applications and core functionalities which you can use in the normal operating system. The normal operating system is, for example, you can imagine like your Windows or something. And behind that, there's a secure operating system running. And we think, or we can say, the normal operating system can be malicious. So you can run your rootkits or something there. And the secure operating system on the same machine, on the same board, will not be affected about it. And so we have here our cryptographic APIs, so MQTTS, I told you about, the testimony, and all these applications running here in the secure operating system. And we can provide you with the interfaces, you can make use of it, and even if you try to do some malicious code here or something, the operating system can check these malicious codes and say, okay, this was not a good code, and you try something we don't want. So this is a so-called trusted execution environment, and weave OS is based on that. So basically, behind weave OS is running an open source operating system for trusted execution environment, and we make some change about it. So we have here some trusted applications running on top of it, and we make some change in the core API of the operating system itself. Okay, so this is weave OS, and you don't have to work with the application, because we provide you a so-called weave socket C file. All you have to do is harvest your data. And the weave socket C data is a file which you have to include, and this file provides you with process your data and transport your data. So there are two functions, a producer and a consumer. And all you have to do is include this file, this weave socket, in your code where you harvest your data, call this function, and this file will handle all the information for you proceed the data and transport it to our economy. So you don't have to program the trusted application or something. It's a little mess. Behind the weave socket file, what it does, it will generate a JSON formatted string with all your data you've collected from the sensor. Will send it with will start a subscriber to your device, so you get messages back from the broker, and then we'll send the produce or consumer request to our ecosystem. Like I mentioned before, the subscriber or the publisher.
So,
yes?
So for the consumer, does it need like a callback or stuff when the
No, you just call this function,
so
and
I'm subscribing with the consumer function.
you don't have to subscribe. This function will do it for you.
Okay.
So
And when the data is coming back,
you will see it on the console.
okay.
Yeah. So this function, when you call this function, a listener will start, and then will publish your request for consuming or producing. This, yeah.
Does these two functions connect to your hosted weave platform?
Yeah, right. We have it right here. When you're interested in seeing your data there on the broker or something, you can come to us and speak to us, and we can show you what is
Yeah,
there.
but I mean, does it run locally on your machine or hosted somewhere?
Excuse me?
Is it hosted somewhere?
Oh, okay. No, it's here, hosted here on our machines. This is an example for how to use this consumer or producer. We have here consumer and the producer in the same file, so it should be split up. We have here some data in a hex string, just some pricing for that data, the amount of the data, where you want to push the data, so the topic I told you about it, the subscriber. And yeah, then we just call this function. Make sure you want to consume or produce, not both. And this is the basic structure of what you have to do. So just call these two functions and you're ready to go. The JSON formatted string the consumer and producer provided for you is something look like this. But you don't have to build your own JSON formatted string. We provide that for you. So here you will see your data later. And all this information are provided by us. Okay, yeah. If you have any questions and in the implementation or need advice or something, we're always sitting here right next to the table. Feel free to come to us, speak to us, and we will help you. And thank you. Yeah.